Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I am the Little Reader, and you, my friend, have landed in my house alongside this glorious... Oh, don't mind the quaff. That's not me. That's my very sweet brother who is working from home today. This is a beautiful piece of carnelian. Small, yes, and it reminds me of a kidney. Take a look at that. I don't know why it reminds me of a kidney. Is it maybe kidney shaped? Yes, one might say that it's kidney shaped, but it's here. Kidney shaped carnelian, and so are you, and it's an honor and pleasure to have you both, and so am I. So let's go. Let's get to channeling. The message was already pushing through, knocking on the door of this vessel prior to even hitting the record button. So let us tune in and see if that is going to come through in full force, and if so, exactly what it is. I will hold the kidney-shaped carnelian for this. And I invite you, my sweet friend, to get cozy, get comfy, wiggle the shoulders if there's any tension there. Settle into the seat, the cushion, the couch, the bed, or if you're watching this while on a treadmill or while moving, settle into your steps, your pace. Let the breath anchor you in. And be here now, my sweet friend. So the message is coming through as clearly and loudly as it was before we got started. Trading hope for peace. Trading hope for peace. Are you hopeful, my sweet friend? I feel hope and hopelessness coming through. And I think, as a channeler, this is illuminating an inner conflict that many, many beings are having at this time. But if you're here, beautiful soul, and I'm here, I know we share this. Should I be full of hope for the future? For good things? For love? For miracles? For abundance? For all the things I feel like I've been promised or I've been holding out for? Should I be hopeful? Or should I be hopeless? Non-attached? Allow myself to be numb? Maybe even against my own better judgment, as we say, against my mind's own orientation toward what it believes is the right path. Maybe I let myself slip into hopelessness. And maybe I punish myself for that, or maybe I don't, depending on my mood or where I am or what I have or don't have, how distracted I am or am not, how busy I am or am not. Should I be hopeful or hopeless? This is the question. And Spirit is seeing the split, beautiful soul. You are so not alone if this is resonating. An incredible portion of humanity doesn't know whether to be hopeful or hopeless, and spends its time ebbing and flowing between the two. But today, Spirit is offering a new kidney-shaped solution. Somehow the kidneys are involved today. Hydrate, if you can, beautiful soul, with a non-caffeinated beverage. Someone just put down their Diet Coke. That is hope. The new solution is this: peace. It turns out that hope is very much a concept. From Spirit's vantage point, what hope means to most of us is pinning the promise of future feel good onto something. Future feel good. Well, not now, but later I'll feel good. And I'm going to hope for that. Hope for that. Not now, but later some outcome that I want to happen is going to happen. And I'm going to hope for that. And it's like taking out a loan, an energetic loan, if you will. From Spirit's vantage point, what a lot of humanity is doing is creating this mental half form, constructing rather, because the mind doesn't have the ability to create. It constructs. It takes bits and pieces of other things and puts them together. We construct an event or an outcome or an ideal. And then, looking at that half form, we extract from it what we think it's going to make us feel like. Okay, when I'm healed of this disease, when I have enough money to pay my bills, when I find love, when I learn to accept my body, when I reach my goal weight, when I move out of my parents' home, when I finally feel proud. And whatever that thing is, we take a loan out on that event. We put it in our heart. At least we think that's what we're doing, but we're really just stashing it right here in the brain. And we call it hope. I'm hopeful. And just the thought alone, at first, has the power to generate a chemical reaction in the body. The thought, it passes through the mental realm and we go, yes, or we bring it up. We devote energy toward this half form. And the reason we call it a half form, beautiful soul, if you're new to the house, is because the mind is just on the cusp of things that have not turned physical into form yet, like this body. The mind is the half form. It is the preamble. It is the lead up to the form. But the thing about half forms is they don't always turn into form. More often than not, they're just passing through. But we love to grab it, juice it, and then drink. The thing about hope is that it can be exhausted. And the thing about hope is that it is from Spirit's vantage point at this time, this juncture in time, space, reality, when you're finding this beautiful soul, it is something that many teachers call spiritual bypassing. But it doesn't have to be spiritual. It can just be good old-fashioned distraction. Hope is being used now to step out of the present moment. The interesting thing about it is that most beings believe they're using hope to step into the present moment. They believe they're using hope to become more present. It's like a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, some may say. Well, if I can just stay hopeful, if I can just stay optimistic, if I can just stay positive, then I can allow myself to go about my life. And I can continue to hold up this house of cards, add another little bit of glue, and another wind barrier to keep this house of cards from falling over. But what Spirit is saying, beautiful soul, is that the house of cards needs to fall over. The wind needs to blow and knock it all down. We need to rip the Band-Aid off and remove the bullet and then disinfect stitch, treat, and kiss the wound. Hope. It isn't fuel. It runs out. It is a mental game. It is the mind doing an impression of the heart. Well, I hope. And we can put our hands over this chest like, but we're still trying to change things, change outcomes, shift. Or we're trying to silence our doubts. Shh. Let me just get through this moment. I don't have time to think about that right now. I hope, and then we move on. It's like Spirit's declaring an all-out war on hope. But Spirit doesn't declare war. Spirit is no judge. If hope is for you, beautiful soul, then it's for you. But for those who are finding themselves torn between hope and hopelessness, and feeling like they keep exhausting their reserves and taking out endless debts of energy on hoping for these outcomes that just don't manifest, or take way too much energy and way too much mental focus to the degree that the heart is sounding off alarm bells, that the mind has become obsessed. Then Spirit invites you to take hope, kiss it, say, "You've served me so well," and recycle it into this beautiful little bird and set it free. Thank you. There's a new emotion in town. Fresh off the presses, darling. Peace. Peace. How is peace different than hope, Spirit? Peace seeks to change nothing. Peace has no constructed mental image about the way things should be. Hope implies a should, and Spirit doesn't do shoulds. Spirit does bees. Nobody write that one down. Spirit does all that is, and we accept and allow and embrace. The mind does shoulds. It should be that way, should be that way, should do this, should do that, should, or should not. That's a judgment machine right there. That's the mind's specialty. Thank you, beautiful mind. It has a role. It's gotten us this far. But from here, humanity can progress no further using this mental operating system. It's time to activate the heart. This is what will take us the next millennia in our human journey. The next eon. I don't know if either of those words are appropriate, but that's what's coming out. The heart is what will take us the next stretch of time in this reality. The mind is ready to be a servant again. This is as far as mental leadership takes us. Now we activate the heart. The mind is in charge of hope. The heart is in charge of peace. That is the name of the game of this shift. Thank you, Spirit. Peace says, all is as it should be. If that's the lingo that we're using, there is no should. All is well. This is exactly right. This is exactly perfect. And the aspects of me that don't like this moment are as temporary as this moment is. The aspects of me that have an issue with any aspect of my life, those aspects are as fleeting and as temporal as the issues themselves. Peace arises not as a decision to be at peace. That's the mind again. Anytime we use the mind to simulate an emotion or to impersonate the heart, we are doing that bypassing thing. There are a lot of finger quotes today. It is noted. But somehow it's relevant. Again, it's the impersonation component. The impersonation component, the mind does a very brilliant impersonation of the heart with emotions like hope. And by using specific thoughts to generate emotional responses. But that only takes us so far. And it always takes us back to where we started. So it's a circle. It doesn't necessarily take us anywhere. But we feel like we're moving. And that's what the mind's great at. It'll make you feel like you're moving. You won't have to move an inch. But I'll take you on a journey. Thank you, beautiful mind. Here in the heart is how we access peace, but we don't do it by deciding to feel peace. That's cute though, right? I would just go to a peaceful place. How will you do that? You'll use the mind. Nice one. Good little tricky do. That's how the mind takes you who are awareness, the white light of consciousness. You, the source. That's who you are, beautiful soul. These are just players in the game, the form, the mind. They're the players that we get to play intimately with this time. They're our lovers for this life, but they're not us. So you as awareness will determine that you want to reside in peace. The mind will quickly say, well, let me give you a peaceful thought. Pull you back up into my realm. The heart never gets a chance. But to feel peace, we must go to the heart. And to get to the heart is very easy. We accept the truth about how we're feeling at this exact moment. No shoulds. No effort to change it. The mind will chime in loud and possibly proud. But your vibration. And how are you going to manifest all the money? How are you going to manifest your health if you lower your frequency by feeling the truth? No. Come, let me take you to a peaceful island. And we say, thank you, beautiful mind. Thank you so much for that offer. I see you. I honor you. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm going to visit the heart. And then you pull that which you are, awareness, with the free will to roam through any realm of this universe that you like. You pull that awareness here, center of the chest. And you use your breath to anchor yourself there. And we have a lot of these meditations on Patreon, which it is $1 to join. And we have them here, which it is free to enjoy in other transmissions. And we won't go into it right this moment because it deserves all of your awareness in an intentional desire to visit this place. But the essence of it is when you breathe into this space and you bring all that you are with your closed eyes, every percentage point of your awareness, there can only be 100%. You bring it all, or as much as you're capable of, right here. And you be with the truth of how you feel in that moment. You be with that truth unyieldingly, acceptingly, lovingly, adoringly. No matter how the mind starts flinging out judgments, well, that's ugly, that's unsafe, we've never felt like that before, this isn't sustainable, quick, run away. Okay, let's get this over with. You can watch the mind and say, hey, hi. It'll attempt to pull your percentage points back one by one, and that's what a practice is. You pull them back in the other direction. You're just building up your muscle of moving your awareness wherever you like. And you train yourself to bring it back here and be right here, right now. And whatever that thing is, whatever is happening in here, whether it's a storm, a tornado, a hurricane, or the most placid little lake, the most beautiful weather, you be with that shit. To put it in a classy way. You rest yourself in it, on it, around it, and you witness it boldly and courageously, with no desire to change it whatsoever. And when you make this your practice, you know peace. Peace isn't something you cook up, it's not something you drink, it's not a substance you take. Peace is the willingness to be with the truth of how you feel in every moment. That is peace. And the more you practice being with that truth, never changing it, never adjusting it, never shifting it, because it's not you. It's a visitor passing through. You invite that visitor and you host them into your home. You sit with them, you love them. That practice is the peacemaker. And when you know peace, you never have to hope again. Your mind never has to impersonate the heart again. Instead, the mind will fall to its knees in worship of the ultimate leader, the heart. The mind will be delighted to have a strong and bold, courageous leader to follow. A little practice. That's all it takes, beautiful soul. That is where we are leaving it today, my sweet friend. Thank you so much for being here, for spending your time with me. It's a joy to host you. A gift, a privilege, and it's never taken for granted. Until we meet again, I am sending you all the love I've got, always more, never less. Because you, my sweet friend, you are so very worthy of it.